Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I am Kelly Stewart at Kelly in Vegas, joined by Marco D'Angelo at Marco in Vegas. Guys, don't forget to check out our new show, Bet On It, the college edition, where we're going to only have on WagerTalk TV until somebody pays us a lot of money to go elsewhere. All jokes aside, really excited for this new college show, so make sure you guys check it out. Hit the subscribe button. Give us some likes, people. Right? That's all we really want. Shout out to our partners, Gaming Today. This is Marco's Sandwich Game of the Week. And also, make sure you guys check out the Gaming Today podcast. I took my day off yesterday, and I reminded them that about 8 times on the podcast yesterday. Guys, this is my day off. It's Tuesday. But I had so much fun. Almost 3 hours worth of podcasting, if you guys can listen to my terrible voice for that long. God bless you. We have a lot of fun. We tell a lot of jokes and make fun of how boring bookmakers are, and I got in a lot of trouble for that one already.
Did you?
Nah, there's some guys, those guys are all exceptions to the rule. You know, a lot of people think bookmakers are super nerdy and back there crunching numbers. A lot of those guys, really great guys, really fun to talk with. And you know that, Marco, because I love getting that behind-the-counter look into things.
Oh, absolutely. We've done a lot of stuff with the radio shows where we've had guests, different sports book directors around town. And think about it, Kelly. 10 years ago, you never got to go behind the curtain and get this kind of information, and it's good stuff, and it makes everybody a smarter, better, or use the phrase a better.
Yes.
And so that's what we're doing. But this segment with Gaming Today, it's the Sandwich Game of the Week. It ties into the fact that
are we undefeated in sandwich games?
I think we lost the first one, and then we've won since then.
Okay, so we're 2-1 in
and
sandwich
last
games.
week's one was a very nice one. We had Buffalo.
If you bring it up, I'm going to be really mad at you.
I think they won the game outright as a 14.5-point underdog.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm happy they did. Yeah. That's great.
We bet them. We got them.
Yeah.
We didn't. Neither one of us had anything on the money line.
Marco, during the Bet On It show, was like, oh, Kelly, Miss Queen of Sprinkles, didn't bet the money line. No, I didn't think the Temple was going to go into Buffalo and lose that game outright. Sure enough, Buffalo wire to wire. Congrats to Marco on his Gaming Today Sandwich Game of the Week. And this week's sandwich game is?
We're going to take a look at Cincinnati traveling to Marshall. And Kelly, as we said all the time, the sandwich game is you got to be looking at where you came from, who you got this week, and who you got next week. And as we look at the schedule, Cincinnati just completed their Ohio tour. They played Ohio State 2 weeks ago and got their snot knocked out of them. Then last week they played another in-state rival, Miami of Ohio. They took care of business, beating them 35-13. Now they have a non-conference.
I mean Ohio University, sorry.
Miami of Ohio.
Is who Ohio State played last week.
No, Cincinnati played, 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry.
Okay, you confused me. I was like, wait a minute.
Well, that was their last game.
Yes, so they had a bye week, so sorry.
Okay, they had the bye weeks, and they had 2 weeks to prepare for this one. But where they're looking at, Kelly, is next week, because this is a non-conference game. Next week, they open up their conference with, even though they lost last week, this is the darling of that conference, the AAC conference, Central Florida.
Yes.
You're coming off your Ohio rivals, and then you're playing a non-conference game this week, and you've got that big conference game next week. Where are you looking at? So we're catching Cincinnati in a look-ahead spot. And for Marshall, I went against Marshall last week, and it was because why? Marshall was in a sandwich spot last week. Marshall was coming off that Friday night game against Boise, went in there, played them tough, got the cover. They were dominated statistically in that game, but they got the cover. 14-7 was the final score. They come back home last week after that game, played Ohio University. They win, but they don't cover. I was on the dog. And then you got this game this week. So which game are you looking ahead to more? Cincinnati, who was a team that was getting a lot of buzz, maybe a team to challenge Central Florida for the crown in the AAC. Last week was definitely a look-ahead spot. We caught them in the right spot. Now we're going with them. This is the team they've got.
This game looks awful trappy. The line at 3, 4 some spots.
Yeah, it opened around 3, and, immediately I'm saying, okay, hey, because we do a segment on the other show. We do a sandwich game. Sometimes they do a trap game. And at 3, it was, as you said, it was very trappy. People are going to look at this and say, who's Marshall?
Yeah.
And here's Cincinnati, that was a team that was, talked about making a run in the AAC. Pick the winner. Anytime you're at 3 or less, it's basically the thought of average better, as I like to refer to John Q. Public. They say, we just got to pick the winner.
There you
go. Cincinnati looks a little too easy. we'll take Marshall.
Great point, Marco. Marco just absolutely slaughtering football, 16-4 run in the last 2 weeks, netting his clients a profit of almost 42%. This week you can get Marco's 30-day all-access package, normally $325. This week, I'm going to take $100 off just for you guys, $225. You'll never miss a winning play from Marco.